Okay, so because King Bharata, when he died, he was thinking only about the deer. He takes birth as a deer in his next birth. But the good thing is that Krishna gives him a memory. Even though he was a deer, he was able to remember that he was actually progressing so much in the spiritual path, and he was going to be free from this world of material. The painful world which we are in. Material world is got no permanent happiness. So he was going to reach that heights of spirituality and be free, reach the spiritual world. But just because he forgot his aim, his goal, and then he started falling, being attached to this deer, he had to be a deer now. And now he has to take a few births before he can come back to that level. And then he takes birth after the deer dies, he takes birth as someone called Jada Bharata, where he becomes somebody who's almost like dumb. Jada Bharata means like a stone he becomes. He's a big strong, he becomes a big strong person, but he doesn't want to talk. He's afraid to talk and interact with the world because he doesn't want to be attached. He wants to get back to his spiritual progress. And then all these stories are there in the Bhagavatam. So I'm just telling you this part so that you understand the importance of the kind of thoughts you have in your mind and why each one of us must try to keep our thoughts, observe our thoughts. Don't try to force thoughts or anything, that won't work. Your mind is like a monkey, but just observe it. Observe what you're thinking every time. Okay. And so in this, we are seeing that whatever one thinks, that one attains. This is the most important teaching in this chapter and the most important question. So Krishna is saying that. Can you read, Misha, what Krishna is saying in 8.7? Misha? Is Misha here?
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. At the same time,
carry out
your
prescribed duty. Means whatever your duty is. Okay?
Of fighting with your activities dedicated to me, and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, and you will attain
me without
doubt.
Yes. Just think of Krishna all the time and give your activities dedicated to Krishna, and surely you will get Krishna. So here I'm going to tell you, anybody knows the story? This story? Yes, Vihan, you have a doubt?
Krishna has two groups. One is Badram and second is him. He born in
Balram. Balram is actually the Ananta Shesha.
Yeah.
He's a form of Ananta Shesha, and Krishna is actually Supreme Lord. He is the cause of everything else. Okay?
Both are same, but they both first Krishna was born and then he died, then Badram. No, first
Krishna
Badram.
and Balram were both there at the same time, Vihan. Both Krishna and Balram are both there at the same time. Balram is actually his elder brother who was born a little before him. Now, this is a story of someone called Ajamila. Anybody knows Ajamila? Have you heard of Ajamila? No one has heard Ajamila? So Ajamila was born in a very pious family. And he also, had just like King Bharat, he had also reached a lot of spiritual height. He was, totally was plucking flowers from the forest. His father was living in the forest only in a hermitage, his parents. And he was plucking some flowers for the puja and all that. And suddenly he hears the sound of someone laughing. And then he notices, he knows that he should not, our senses, wherever it looks or it hears, it will get attracted to that. So his mind is telling him, don't look there. He's going to distract you. But then he gets tempted and he looks there and he sees a man and a woman together, and he feels tempted. He also wants to enjoy, similarly. So what he does is he goes back to that woman, and he's actually married. He has his family, but he's so lost in spite of his devotion. He forgets everything for a moment, and he falls in love with this woman who is actually a prostitute, and he starts living with her for years, and he neglects his parents, he neglects his own wife and children, and for years all his pious things that he used to do, for some time he forgot. But what happens is he has a son, and he names the smallest son. He had many children from this woman also. The smallest son, Ajamila, named him Narayana. Actually, Krishna makes him do that. He actually names his son Narayana, and he is now old, and he keeps on calling his youngest son to help him for different things. Narayana, come here. Narayana, what are you doing? And just the word Narayana, just like I keep telling you, the word Krishna has so much power. Just because he kept on calling Narayana even at the time of his death. This is a picture of how Ajamila is going to die, and Yamadutas come to take away the souls of those who have sinned, who are done wrong things, or they need to get the fruits of the wrong things they have done. So he is going to die in the first picture you can see, and the Yamadutas are coming and going to take him to the hell that he deserves, because he did so many wrong things also. He didn't listen to his parents. He made his wife very sad. He went after this woman. So the Yamadutas have come. But just because he's going on calling out Narayana, Narayana, this is talking about the power of the name, actually, story. We have Vishnu comes, Krishna comes, and Vishnu Dutas, they come and they say, you cannot touch him. Just because he's saying the name of Krishna, of Narayana. Narayana, Krishna has many names. He's saying that name, you cannot touch him, and the Yamadutas have to, ultimately go back. They cannot take Ajamila. And Vishnu Dutas come and save him. And in the next picture, we can see how, he again lives, he remembers all the wrong things that he did. Krishna gives a chance to the worst of sinners, whatever wrong things you do, Krishna gives you a chance, especially whatever pious deeds you have done in the past, that will all come and help you, even though sometimes you slip and fall and you do the worst of things. Krishna will come back and give you a chance. So here he gives Ajamila a chance. He again lives for many more years, and he chants and chants, and then he at last goes back to the Vaikuntha Lok. He goes back to the spiritual world. So this is a beautiful story which is teaching us how at the time of death, when the name itself is so powerful, remembering the name, that's why it's important to chant, to say the Maha Mantra, which is, all of you remember the Maha Mantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If you say this, at least keep some time and say it every day, you will prepare for the examination of death. So life is a preparation and death is an examination. And how is it that we can meditate on Krishna? How do we do that? Krishna will give some solutions. Okay, how? Your mind is continuously thinking of Krishna. You try to do that. You have to practice. It only comes to practice. Krishna keeps saying, practice remembrance. How? Through meditating. Suppose you have a Bhagavad Gita, you read a shloka, you meditate upon it. By meditating on Krishna, by meditating on his qualities, by practicing Yoga Mishra Bhakti, you can think of Krishna when you're quitting your body or when it is your final examination. So can I have someone read this one? Karan, can you be able to read this? Just don't read the Sanskrit part, just read the English translation.
Yes, ma'am. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable.
You cannot imagine him. He is like impossible to understand, inconceivable.
Who is inconceivable and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature.
Nice, Karan, very nice. So I had actually spent a half a class explaining transcendental earlier. It basically, who remembers what is the meaning of transcendental? Someone can say what is transcendental?
Spiritual. Neither, like, they're not materialistic.
Not material. Correct. Good, good. I'm glad you all remember. What is not material in this world which we see here and taste? Transcendental is something which is spiritual, beyond the material nature. So the Lord is luminous like the sun. He's actually a person. Only then we can relate to Krishna. The Lord is actually a person. Okay. How can we think of Krishna here in this table? We have different ways of thinking of him. We can think about about him who knows everything, the past, present, and future, everything. Krishna is one who, out of which all of us are born. He is Puranam. He is the cause of everything. He is the controller. He is smaller than the smallest. He is a maintainer, right? And he is always a person. He is beyond material conception. He is Achintya, means you cannot even imagine him, Krishna, how much power he has. He is like the sun. He is Aditya Varnam. He shines like, glows like the sun. And he is the transcendent beyond this material world. So you have different ways of thinking of Krishna. Vihan, you have something to ask?
Ma'am, my dadu prays very much, and he is like, you told a story about the king. He's like that. He prays very much, and he told a mantra, Shri Shivaya Namastubhyam.
Yeah, very nice. So Lord
And
Shiva
the
is actually
strongest,
one of the biggest bhakt of the Lord. He is always in meditation, and when you pray to Shiva, he will also teach you how to reach the ultimate goal of meditation. So here you can see, children, some people, as you can see, impersonalists. Can you see down? It is written impersonalists and devotees. So impersonalists are those who cannot think of Krishna as a person. They think of only the impersonal form of Krishna. That is, they only look at the light and the brightness which comes from Krishna, and they meditate on that. They want to be one with that light of Krishna. Whereas devotees are those who are able to see Krishna as a person. Okay, and Om and the impersonal form of Krishna and Krishna are actually the same. But when you're able to be a devotee, that is considered by Krishna in the Gita as the highest form. All right. So here he talks about those who are constantly remembering him, they attain him. Why should we attain Krishna? Because we don't want to come back to this temporary material world full of miseries. What is the line underlined? Dukkhalayam. Can you see Dukkhalayam? Dukkha.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
if we say Vidyalaya, that is a place where you get knowledge, Vidya. Right? Dukkhalayam is a place, this world is a place full of lots of miseries. We think we are happy, we are enjoying, but all the happiness are temporary. They will all end. And whenever there is happy, there will be sad. Whenever there is meeting, there will be parting. Whenever there is victory, there will be defeat also. Okay? So what happens is that Krishna is telling us in this important shloka 8.15 that Mam upetya punar janma dukkhalayam ashashvatam. I will save you from this world of miseries. How? Why should we attain? That is why we should try to attain Krishna, because we don't want to come back. We want to attain that spiritual land from where we don't want to come back and just have all these enjoyments which are temporary. So children, let's quickly, it's already 4 minutes only left for this class to be over. Quickly, we'll compare this material world and spiritual world. What is the difference? Material world is continuously to be created and destroyed, created and destroyed. Beyond this ocean of creation and destruction, there is a abode of Krishna where he is present, and only when we have total bhakti, we will be able to go there. All right. So Brahma is the person who is creating the world continuously. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities, we are all taking shape. Why are we coming into this world? Because we have desires to be separate from Krishna and we want to enjoy the material world. That's why we are coming here. We forget our true form, which is, actually like a drop of the Paramatma. We are also drops of that supreme love which Krishna has for the whole world. Why is this world temporary? Because again and again, living entities have to keep coming. And in this world, why is it a Dukhalayam, children? Why is this world a Dukhalayam? Because birth is not very easy. When a child is born, we are all very happy. Yay, a child is born. But the child is going through so much difficulty to be born. Then he has to go become old. Everybody who is born will have to be old. He has to get diseases. Diseases come for all, and death comes for all. These are the real problems of this world. Okay? And spiritual world, how is the spiritual world of Krishna? It is absolute nature. Krishna says that there is no birth and death here. It is infallible. That means it is opposite to the material world. There is unlimited bliss. All desires get fulfilled. You are with someone who is all attractive. All right? And you have unmanifest to mundane eyes. We can't see it with our material eyes. When we reach the spiritual world, we will have a spiritual body, and then we can experience that happiness. And these things are, like I told you, only in descending knowledge we can understand. By ourselves, we can't understand. There is a supreme destination. And in the Gita, Krishna says that there is a place, a spiritual world from where there is no return. And in that spiritual world, every word is a song, every step is a dance. And he's calling us. Krishna is calling us in the Gita. Come back to me. Okay. So what do you think? I want each one of you to tell me, why do you think you want to go to a spiritual world and be free from this material world? Anyone can tell me why you would want to go to the spiritual world and be free from this material world? Anybody can tell me? Only 1 minute is left. Someone can tell me?
This material world is quite painful.
Okay, because the material world is quite painful, true. Anything else? Any other reason?
People get greedy and they want more, which won't, and the satisfaction level won't be the best.
True. People are greedy, they just want more and more, and that will lead to only more anger, more pain. Greed will always lead to more, Jayato Vishyan Punta Sange Seshu Vinayate. It will give attachment, it will give you anger, it will lead to your downfall. Very good. So you don't want to be in this world where you
Fall to wrath.
Yes, Arya?
We'll feel the wrath. We'll feel the wrath. And like in spiritual world, we'll know how to control our emotions and our, how, and and whatever we get, we'll be contented with it.
Yes. The spiritual world is something which Krishna will give us some glimpses, but we cannot understand that till we are, actually reached there. We only know that there is a beautiful spiritual world and there is a place. Krishna is telling us in the Gita that with continuous, contemplation on Krishna, we can go back. So there are some more verses here where he talks about there is, that there is an abode where he is there and which we should all try to go to. Can someone read this 8.28, the last verse? Who would read that? Karan? Who did not read?
A person who expects the math of division service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere
sacrifices,
giving charities or
pursuing philosophical
and fruitive
activity.
At the end, he reached the supreme supreme, and mourn.
Abode. So children, don't worry if you can't understand all the words. You're just, there's a big achievement that you're even trying to understand what the Gita is saying. So don't worry if you can't understand all the words. This shloka is the last verse. It's actually simply telling us that one who takes to bhakti, the whole, from chapter 7, 6 chapters after that are going to be about bhakti. So Krishna is saying in the last verse, if someone will become a bhakt of Krishna, then he gets all the results of someone who's studying the Vedas, the whole Vedas, which is the knowledge, the whole knowledge is there in the Vedas. Or somebody who is doing sacrifices or giving lot of charity and doing good deeds, somebody who is doing philosophical activities or fruitive activities, all the benefits, he is not bereft, means he is not that he doesn't get that. The best part is the bhakta at the end, in the final examination, will go to the supreme abode of Krishna. And that is what we all want to do, right? So here we can see the different kinds of yogis. The yogis are the jnanis. They concentrate on light. They get Brahma Jyoti. Okay? Those who are karma kandis, they are in darkness. But they are doing work, to get the different material desires. They will also get higher heavenly planets, which are material, and then they will come back to the earth to again try, to reach God. But the devotee, if he dies, this is ways of leaving the body. When he dies, he will, whatever time he dies, he will attain Krishna. So in the Gita, if you go to this chapter 8, Krishna gives a lot of explanation of what time a person dies and where he will go. But he tells in the end that the bhakt, the Krishna Bhakt, who is just the devotee of the Lord, anytime he will die, he will attain Krishna Loka. So here we can see that there are yogis and pure devotees. For the yogis, they have to check, they will check what is a good time for dying, how these people look at what is the best time to die. But for the pure devotee, any time they die is auspicious and they go back to Krishna. How to think of Krishna? Think of his form in your mind, chant his name. Those are things you do in the mind. Physically, whatever you're doing, keep thinking, I'm doing this to make Krishna happy. Then you're not, your mind is not distracted with, oh, what will happen if I fail? Or, no other thought will come, because what you're doing, you want to do it well and you want to give it for Krishna. And your mind and intelligence are fixed on Krishna if you are able to follow the teachings. These are the different ways of bhakti. Then here we can see the importance of chanting. These are importance of chanting. These verses, it's time, so I don't want to continue. So I am asking you all to chant the Hare Krishna. In fact, next time, if you can come 5 or 10 minutes before the class, we will do one round of chanting. All right, and then we can continue the class. So we will revise chapter 8 in the next class, and we will do shlokas in the next class. Those of you who are joining music class, come at 11:30. I'll send the link already. And Hare Krishna, everybody. We have understood chapter 8 basically today, just the basic things of chapter 8 today, and gone through it. If you want the book, you can let me know, the Bhagavad Gita as it is. But otherwise, children, I'm really congratulating you for taking the effort to understand what is given in our scriptures. And if you contemplate or meditate upon what is being taught, you will understand why it is actually going to help you develop your focus, okay, to achieve success in this world when you know the Gita. Okay, children? So see you next Sunday. Please come back and be with me at 10 o'clock next Sunday. And you can take a break. Those who are joining a music class, you can come back at 11:30. Just message me. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anybody has any doubt?
No, ma'am. Hare Krishna, ma'am.
See you next Sunday, children. Take care.
Hare
Bye.
Krishna.
Ma'am?
Yes, Ritika.
No, ma'am, Arya.
Arya.
Ma'am, for the music class, I opted for the option 1. So
Yes,
when is
yes.
my class?
Yours is on Wednesday at 5 o'clock, individual 1-to-1. You don't have
Okay.
to join this class because I'm taking an individual class for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, everybody. Vihan, you were raising your hand. You want to ask something? Yes, Vihan?
I was saying bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye. See you next Sunday. Do join us. Next Sunday, chapter
Bye.
9. We'll do
Ma'am,
the,
Quizlink.
we'll be doing chapter 9 next class. Yes, Ritika?
Ma'am, Quizlink.
Oh, yes, Quizling. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah. Children, before you go, those who have attended the class, I'll send you the quiz link of chapter 8. I'll put it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Please do it today only before you forget what you have learned. Yeah. If you want, I can put it in the chat, but I'll be closing the meeting. So I'll put it into the WhatsApp group. Children, all of you do the quiz of chapter 8. It's just got 4 nice, simple questions. All right. I think I'll end the meeting, only then it comes. For some reason, it doesn't come in the chat when I'm meeting. Okay, bye everyone. Take care. Do the quiz.
Bye, ma'am.